Hello everyone, welcome to Brain Blitz Audios. In this episode of NEET Preparation, we'll be looking at previous year questions of biology in medical entrance examinations in India. The chapter that we'll be dealing with is the 8th chapter in the grade 11 syllabus for CBSE, and the chapter is Cell, the Unit of Life. Let's look at our first question. A chromosome with a centromere at one end is known as telocentric, metacentric, excentric, and apocentric. Let's look at each of our options one by one. A metacentric chromosome has the centromere at the center of the chromosome. So in the middle of the chromosome, you have the centromere present. What about D, apocentric? Apocentric chromosomes have no centromere. So therefore option D is also incorrect, as well as option B. What about option C, excentric? There is no chromosome called excentric. So therefore option C is incorrect. The right answer is option A, telocentric, which has a centromere at one end. So a chromosome having centromere at one end is known as telocentric. Next question. Plasmodesmata connections help in cytoplasmic streaming, synchronous mitotic divisions, locomotion of unicellular organisms, or movement of substances between cells. Let's look at each of our options. Cytoplasmic streaming is the movement of fluid substances around the cell. So inside the cell, the fluid substances of the cytoplasm move around each other in a mechanism known as cytoplasmic streaming. So this happens inside the cell, so option A is incorrect. The reason being, plasmodesmata connects to adjacent cells. What about option B, synchronous mitotic divisions? This phenomenon is found in pollen grains. And plasmodesmata is found in permanent tissue. Therefore, option B is incorrect. What about option C, locomotion of unicellular organisms? Locomotion of unicellular organisms are undertaken with the help of cilia, flagella, or in some cases, pili. So these are the organelles which help in locomotion. Plasmodesmata does not help in locomotion, and it is not even found in unicellular organisms. So option C is incorrect. The right answer is option D, movement of substances between cells. The plasmodesmata is a connection of two adjacent cells, and it's formed by the cell wall. So it helps in movement of substances between cells. Next question. DNA is present in chromosomes and dictyosomes, chloroplasts and lysosomes, mitochondria and chloroplasts, mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum. Let's look at each of our options. Option D, mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum has the function of transport of proteins. And it does not have DNA. So option D is incorrect. What about option A, chromosomes and dictyosomes? Dictyosomes, which are another form of Golgi bodies, have the function of packaging of proteins and lipids. So therefore, option A is also incorrect. What about option B, chloroplasts and lysosomes? Lysosomes, which are The suicidal bags of the cell contain hydrolytic enzymes, and these hydrolytic enzymes are used for eating foreign bodies, or in some cases, destruction of the cell itself. But there is no DNA present in lysosomes. So option B is also incorrect. Therefore, the right answer is option C, mitochondria and chloroplasts. But wait, you might think mitochondria is used for producing energy and respiration, and chloroplast is used for photosynthesis. These have extranuclear DNA, which is due to the fact that they are self-replicating, because mitochondria and chloroplasts are descendants of symbiotic prokaryotes in a eukaryotic cell. So therefore, they have their own DNA. And that's why they are self-replicating. They also have 70S ribosomes inside them. Therefore, option C, mitochondria and chloroplasts, is the right answer. 3 of the following statements regarding cell organelles are correct, while 1 is wrong. Which one is wrong? A. Lysosomes are double membrane vesicles budded off from Golgi apparatus and contain digestive enzymes. Endoplasmic reticulum consists of a network of membranous tubules and helps in transport, synthesis, and secretion. Leucoplasts are bound by 2 membranes, lack pigment, but contain their own DNA and protein synthesizing machinery. Spherosomes are single membrane bound and are associated with synthesis and storage of lipids. Let's look at each of our options. Option D. Spherosomes are single membrane bound and are associated with synthesis and storage of lipids. These work in association with Golgi bodies, which do the same. So option D is true. So since the statement D is true, the option becomes incorrect, because we are asked to find which statement is wrong. What about statement C? Leucoplasts are bound by 2 membranes. They lack pigments, but they contain their own DNA and protein synthesizing machinery. So yes, plastids are bound by 2 membranes. Leucoplasts have no pigments because they're in storage, therefore storage. And all plastids contain their own DNA. And protein synthesizing machinery refers to the 70S ribosomes inside plastids. So option C is true. So since the statement is true, the option is incorrect. Statement B. Endoplasmic reticulum consists of a network of membranous tubules and helps in transport, synthesis, and secretion. This statement is also true. That makes option B incorrect. The right answer is option A. Lysosomes are double membrane vesicles budded off from Golgi apparatus and contain digestive enzymes. So why is this statement wrong? The statement is wrong at this point. Double membrane. Lysosomes only have 1 membrane and not 2. And lysosomes do contain digestive enzymes. So because of the statement that lysosomes are double membraned, this statement is incorrect. It is false. And since the statement is wrong, our answer will be A, because we're asked to find out which statement is wrong. All of the options are really important here, because here we need to find out which one is wrong and we need to learn which of the others are correct. Next question. What is common between chloroplasts, chromoplasts, and leucoplasts? Presence of pigments, possession of thylakoids and grana, storage of starch, proteins, and lipids, ability to multiply by a fission-like process. What about option A, presence of pigments? This is not present in leucoplasts. Leucoplasts are having no pigments. They are colorless and they're used for storage. So option A is incorrect, because leucoplasts have no pigment. Option 2. Option B states that possession of thylakoids and grana is common between chloroplasts, chromoplasts, and leucoplasts. But the problem with this statement is that thylakoids and grana are only found in chloroplasts. and they're used for photosynthesis. So therefore, option B is also incorrect. What about option C, storage of starch, proteins, and lipids? This is only leucoplasts. Leucoplasts are the only types of plastids that stores starch, proteins, and lipids. Depending on what they store, they're divided into amyloplasts, elaioplasts, eleuroplasts, etc. So option C is also incorrect. The right answer is option D, ability to multiply by a fission-like process. This is due to the fact that all plastids are descended from symbiotic prokaryotes. So these are originated from prokaryotes, and that's why they have their own DNA and protein synthesizing machinery. So they are descended from symbiotic prokaryotes, so all of them have the ability to multiply by a fission-like process. Next question. In prokaryotes, chromatophores are specialized granules responsible for coloration of cells, structures responsible for organizing the shape of the organism, inclusion bodies lying free inside the cells for carrying out various metabolic activities, or D, internal membrane systems that may become extensive and complex in photosynthetic bacteria. So, which of these is the right option? Option A, specialized granules responsible for coloration of cells. Chromatophores are not for coloration, although the name may lead you to believe that they are granules for coloration, they are not. So option A is incorrect. Option B, structures responsible for organizing the shape of the organism. This is the function of cytoskeleton and not chromatophores. So option B is incorrect. What about option C? Inclusion bodies lying freely inside the cells for carrying out various metabolic activities. This is the function of elementary bodies which contain viral proteins. So these are descended from viruses. So therefore option C is not chromatophores. So they're incorrect. The right answer is option D, internal membrane systems that may become extensive and complex in photosynthetic bacteria, because chromatophores have the pigments bacteriochlorophyll and bacteriophyophytin. So these pigments help in photosynthesis. And because of the presence of these photosynthetic pigments, we call the structure chromatophores. So chromatophores are internal membrane systems that may become extensive and complex in photosynthetic bacteria. Next question. Which of the following is responsible for mechanical support, protein synthesis, and enzyme transport? Cell membrane, mitochondria, dictyosomes, or ER? Let's look at each of our options. Cell membrane differentiates cytoplasm from the external environment. So it defines the boundaries of the cell. So option A is incorrect. What about option D, mitochondria? Mitochondria is for respiration. The function of mitochondria is aerobic respiration and production of adenosine triphosphate, the energy currency of the cell. So option B is incorrect. What about option C, dictyosomes? Well, dictyosomes are another name for Golgi bodies, and the reason why they're named dictyosomes is they're simple and they're found in plants, while Golgi apparatus is found in animals. But either way, they have the same function of packaging lipids. So therefore, option C will also be incorrect. The right answer is option D, endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for mechanical support because it's part of the endomembrane system and cytoskeleton. It generates proteins because of the rough endoplasmic reticulum having ribosomes. And since enzymes are a type of proteins, they transport these proteins and enzymes throughout the system. So endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for mechanical support, protein synthesis, and enzyme transport. Next question. Omnis cellula e cellula was given by A. Virchow, B. Hook, C. Leeuwenhoek, and D. Brown. Let's look at the contribution of each of the scientists. Robert Brown is credited with discovering the nucleus. So option D is incorrect. Anton van Leeuwenhoek was the first person to view a living cell. Robert Hooke discovered the cell in dead tissue. And Rudolf Virchow was instrumental in modifying the cell theory. And the statement omnis cellula e cellula is found in cell theory. So therefore, option A, Rudolf Virchow, is the right answer. That makes B and C incorrect. Rudolf Virchow was the person who gave the theory omnis cellula e cellula, that is, cells arise from pre-existing cells. Next question. Genes present in the cytoplasm of eukaryotic cells are found in A. Mitochondria and inherited via egg cytoplasm, B. Lysosomes and peroxisomes, C. Golgi bodies and smooth ER, D. Plastids and inherited via male gamete. So let's look at each of our options. Option D, plastids and inherited via male gamete. So plastids have DNA. That is true. But the DNA inherited via male gamete is present in the nucleus and not extranuclear. So the genes inherited from the gametes, they are present in the DNA and chromosomes of the nucleus. So option D is incorrect. What about option C, Golgi bodies and smooth endoplasmic reticulum? Both of these have no DNA. And since they have no DNA, they have no genes. So therefore, option C is incorrect. What about option B, lysosomes and peroxisomes? Again, both of these have no DNA. So therefore, option B is incorrect. The right answer is option A, mitochondria and inherited via egg cytoplasm. Mitochondria is self-replicating and it has 70S ribosomes and its own DNA. Next question. What is common between chloroplasts, chromoplasts, and leucoplasts? So this is essentially the same question. So pigments are not found in leucoplasts. Possession of thylakoids and grana are only found in chloroplasts. Storage of starch, proteins, and lipids are found only in leucoplasts. And the only thing that's common is the ability to multiply by a fission-like process. So A, B, and C are incorrect, and option D is the right answer. Next question. Molecules that are too large to pass through the pores of a cell membrane may enter the cell by a process known as hydrolysis, pinocytosis, cyclosis, or synthesis. So let's look at each of our options. Option D, synthesis. This is the building up of molecules. So synthesis is making molecules, building up molecules. So option D is incorrect. What about option C, cyclosis? Cyclosis transports materials inside the cell. So it's basically cytoplasmic streaming. Therefore, option C is incorrect. What about option A, hydrolysis? Hydrolysis is using water to split molecules. So therefore, option A is also incorrect. The right answer is option B, pinocytosis. So basically, you have a cell membrane here and you have an external molecule. In pinocytosis, you wrap that molecule using the cell membrane itself. So it's similar to making another gas vacuole, the process that's found in amoeba. So option B is the right answer. The molecules that are too large to pass through the pores of a cell membrane enter the cell using pinocytosis and phagocytosis. Next question. The three morphological forms of Golgi complex are lamellae, tubules, and vesicles, cisternae, tubules, and vesicles, cisternae, tubules, and lamellae, granum, thylakoids, and vesicles. So for options A and C, it is better to know what is lamellae. Lamellae is the membranous fold found in chloroplasts. So these are not found in Golgi complexes. They're found in chloroplasts. So the options containing lamellae, such as option A and option C, are incorrect. What about option D, granum, thylakoids, and vesicles? Granum and thylakoids again are found in chloroplasts, so option D is incorrect. The right answer is option B. Cisternae, tubules, and vesicles. These are the three types of morphological forms of the Golgi complex. Next question. Which of these chromosomes may be lost during cell division? Giant chromosome, acentric chromosome, polycentric chromosome, telocentric chromosome. Now, for a chromosome to be lost in cell division, it will not be held by spindle formation. And the spindle formation is found in metaphase and anaphase of cell division. So therefore, for a chromosome to be held by spindle formation, it should have a centromere. So if a chromosome does not have a centromere, then it will not be held by spindle formation in metaphase and anaphase, and therefore it may be lost. Let's look at each of our options. Option A, giant chromosome. Giant chromosomes contain many centromeres. So therefore option A is incorrect because the chromosome that we require should not have any centromeres. Option D, telocentric chromosome. It has a centromere at its tip. The centromere is present at the tip of the chromosome, and so therefore this will not be lost during cell division. Option D is incorrect. What about option C, polycentric chromosome? Again, these have many centromeres. Therefore, option C is incorrect. The right answer is option B, acentric chromosomes. Acentric chromosomes have no centromeres. Therefore, they may be lost during cell division because they won't be held by the spindles formed by the asters due to the lack of centromeres in metaphase and anaphase. Next question. Choose the incorrect match. Nucleus RNA, lysosome protein synthesis, mitochondria respiration, cytoskeleton microtubules. Now, let's look at each of our options. Nucleus RNA. So inside the nucleus, there is another organelle known as the nucleolus. and this nucleolus converts DNA into messenger RNA. So the nucleus can be associated with the formation of RNA. So the match is correct, which makes the option incorrect. What about option D? Cytoskeleton microtubules. Cytoskeleton is made of microtubules. So the match is correct. That makes the option incorrect. Option C, mitochondria respiration. Mitochondria are the site of respiration, especially aerobic respiration. So therefore, the match is correct, which makes the option incorrect. Therefore, our right answer is option B, lysosomes, protein synthesis. This match is not correct. The reason being that protein synthesis happens in ribosomes. And lysosomes, they are suicidal bags. They contain hydrolytic enzymes, which are used for destruction of cells. So now we've reached our final question. Which of the following statements are correct? And we are given 4 statements. We are asked to find which of the following statements are correct. Let's look at each statement one by one. In prokaryotic cells, a special membranous structure formed by the extension of the plasma membrane into the cell is known as polysome. This is incorrect because the special membranous structure formed by the extension of the plasma membrane is known as a mesosome and not as a polysome. Polysome is the aggregate. Polysomes are described as aggregate of many chromosomes. So therefore, option A is false. The statement is false. What about statement B? Statement 2 states that the smooth endoplasmic reticulum is the major site for synthesis of glycoproteins. This statement is also false. Proteins are synthesized in the rough endoplasmic reticulum. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for the synthesis of fats. What about statement 3? Rubisco is the most abundant protein in the whole biosphere. So Rubisco is an enzyme found in plants, and it is the most abundant protein in the whole biosphere. Therefore, the statement is true. Statement 3 is true. Mitochondria, chloroplasts, and peroxisomes are not considered as part of the endomembrane system. This statement is also true. The endomembrane system contains Golgi bodies, lysosomes, ER, cell membrane, cytoskeleton, and so on. But they do not contain mitochondria, chloroplasts, or peroxisomes. So statements 3 and 4 are true, which means that option A is the right option because it states statement 3 and 4 are correct. All the other statements, all the other options are incorrect because they have included statements which are not correct. So that ends this episode of NEET preparation. So over here at Brain Blitz Audios, we specialize in creating quality educational content. So to be a part of our channel, please subscribe to us in our YouTube channel and like this video and share it to maximum contacts. So until the next episode, we'll be back with more useful and interesting content such as learner words, mind maps, stories, CBSE board exam, NEET preparation, etc. So until then, take care, stay safe, ta-ta for now.